My family said I was too emotional to help decide Grandma's future, so I stopped helping with anything. Grandma was on the floor for 2 days before anyone noticed. My mom called a family meeting to discuss moving Grandma into assisted living, and I showed up thinking my opinion would matter since I was the one who actually visited her every week. When I started raising concerns about the facility they picked, my brother cut me off and looked at my mom like I wasn't even in the room. "This is exactly what we talked about," he said. "She's too emotional. She can't be objective about this." I tried to defend myself, but my mom was already nodding along, and my other brother added the part that really broke something in me. "You make everything about yourself and how much you sacrifice for everyone. We get it. You're a martyr. But the rest of us have real lives, and we're tired of you acting like this family would collapse without you." Nobody disagreed. Nobody even flinched. I grabbed my jacket and walked toward the door, and the only thing I said was, "Okay, you've got it handled then." My mom actually laughed a little, like I was being dramatic and would come crawling back by the weekend. I didn't come back. When my brother's birthday passed and nobody remembered because I didn't send the reminder text, I watched his wife host a belated photo 3 days later and almost caved. I typed out the message 4 different times before deleting it. When my 2 brothers got into a fight about something stupid and stopped speaking, my mom texted me asking if I could smooth things over like I always did, and I stared at that message for an hour before putting my phone in a drawer. Thanksgiving came, and I knew it would be a disaster without someone coordinating, and it was. I saw the photos on social media of the half-empty table and the tense smiles, and my chest hurt so bad I couldn't sleep at night. The hardest part was Grandma. Every Sunday I used to drive over and spend the afternoon with her, and now Sundays felt like a hole in my chest. 3 weeks in, I actually drove to her house and sat in my car outside for 20 minutes. I could see her kitchen light on. I could have walked in and hugged her and pretended none of this happened, but if I did that, they would learn nothing. I drove home and cried the whole way. Cousins started calling to tell me how bad things were getting. The brothers still weren't speaking. Mom was stressed and snapping at everyone. Grandma kept asking about me, wondering why I didn't visit anymore. Every time I heard that, I told myself they must be checking on her. They cut me out because they wanted to handle things themselves, so they must be handling it. My family was cruel, but they weren't monsters. Someone was visiting her. Someone had to be. The call came on a Tuesday from a number I didn't recognize. It was Grandma's neighbor, and her voice was shaking. She said she'd heard Grandma calling for help through the wall and used the emergency key to get inside. She found Grandma on the kitchen floor next to a knocked-over chair, barely conscious, and based on the food that had been sitting out, she'd been lying there for at least 2 days. The ambulance was already on the way. I don't remember the drive to the hospital. I just remember running through the halls until a nurse stopped me and told me Grandma was being examined, and I couldn't see her yet. I asked if she was going to be okay, and the nurse said they were still assessing her, and the way she said it made my stomach drop. 2 days on the floor. She was 83 years old, and she'd been lying on her kitchen floor for 2 days because nobody came. I stood in that hallway with my back against the wall, barely able to stay upright, and I called my mother. She didn't know. That was the first thing she said, like a reflex. I didn't know. I thought someone was checking on her. I asked her who. Who exactly was supposed to be checking on her? She couldn't answer. She just kept repeating that she assumed someone was handling it, like saying it enough times would make it true. I asked her if she understood that Grandma might die tonight because nobody remembered she existed. My mom's voice got defensive. "So this is my fault? You abandoned her. You knew she needed someone and you walked away to teach us a lesson." I watched a team of nurses rush past me toward another room, and I thought about Grandma alone on that cold kitchen floor, calling for help that never came. She was alone for 2 days, and you want to know where I was? Where were you? The line went silent. I waited for her to say something, anything, but she had nothing. A doctor came through the doors and called my name, and I hung up without another word. The doctor told me Grandma was dehydrated and had a fractured hip. When I finally got to see her, she looked so small in that bed, but she squeezed my hand and asked where I'd been. I told her I was sorry and I wasn't going anywhere. I visit Grandma every Sunday now, just me, and I haven't organized a family event since.